So recently, I discovered that I have become obsessed. In fact, I have an addiction with retro gaming, and I 100% blame the Pixel Game Squad, the Game Chasers, Retro Rick, and Chase After the Right Price. If it wasn't for you guys, I would have a lot more money than I do right now. What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm unboxing a ton of retro gaming goodness, which I can't lie, I'm extremely excited for. So to give you all a little bit of backstory before we actually dive into this crazy retro gaming unboxing, last year during COVID, I rediscovered my love of gaming. In fact, to a point where I was just spending hours and hours playing games, whether it was N64 games, PC games, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, whatever was available to me, I would be playing. And what made matters worse is that I started watching YouTube channels about hunting for retro games, like the Game Chasers and the Pixel Game Squad. And I started watching those so much that I started going to yard sales and flea markets and things like that. I don't know, it was just becoming a real problem. And then what made it even worse was that I started watching channels like Chase After the Right Price and Retro Rick, who sort of make a living buying and selling games. And that became something that I wanted to start doing. And it's not something that I've actively done. I have actually started going to a lot more yard sales, flea markets, and Goodwills, mainly just to find good deals on games for myself, because honestly, I just don't have the time to resell. I'd love to do it. I used to do that when I was growing up. That was something that I loved to do, going to flea markets, buying Game Boy games, and then reselling them on half eBay and eBay back in like 2006, 2005. But now I have a wife, I have a house, I have a job. I just can't be doing this as much as I'm starting to feel like I'm falling into doing it. So all that said, at this point I've probably spent hundreds of dollars, maybe even $1,000, buying consoles that I grew up on, playing retro games that I love. And while it's been a great thing, I really feel like it's going to become as big of an addiction as my sneaker addiction and now my watch addiction. So I'm a little concerned that I'm on the precipice of this crazy just drop into collecting of video games, which I guess isn't a bad thing, but monetarily it's a bad thing. But before we actually dive into the unboxing, I do want to recommend these channels to you guys. If you want to check out any of these channels, I've made sure to link them in the description below. They're all really great channels. If you like retro gaming at all, you're probably already watching them, honestly, but if you're not, you're going to get sucked in. It's going to destroy your life, and if you're willing to take that leap, go for it. If you're not, maybe don't click on them. But to sort of fill you guys in on what I already have in my collection, I have an N64. Now this is a console that I had the most of growing up. The first console I ever got actually was an N64. It was a Gator Green N64, and I ended up only having it for like a couple hours because I went to Target with my mom because I got like 60 bucks for Christmas or something like that. I bought the N64, brought it home, realized it didn't have any games, and I had to try and convince my dad to let me buy games for it. And he's like, well, if the games cost as much as the console, then you can't buy games for it. So we had to return it, which, not gonna lie, at the time was a little traumatic, but now, looking back on it, I ended up getting a Game Boy Advance with the same money a little bit later, but I ended up using that significantly more than I probably would have used an N64 because we traveled a lot. But as I started working for myself, my first job was at Target, I ended up saving up to buy an N64. They were a lot cheaper at that point. I think I grabbed one on eBay for like 20 or 30 bucks, had that one through college, and then ended up selling it. And last year, I just found myself really regretting selling it, even though there was like a 10-year gap in between when I sold it and when I wanted a new one, and my wife ended up actually getting me one for either Christmas or my birthday. I don't remember which one, but she got this one. She got it from GameStop, and I've been loving it because it comes with Pod Racer, which is one of my favorite games of all time. In fact, I've beaten this game on the PS4, the PS5, the Switch, and now I'm beating it on N64. I originally had it on the iMac, but when they re-released it last year on the PS4 and the PS5 and Switch and all sort of good stuff, I ended up buying all of them and just playing it a million different times. So I love this game. This is one of my favorite games of all time. So she bought me the console, she bought me the game, and she got me 2 controllers. They're both out in my media room, but this is it right here. It works fine. It doesn't have the expansion pack, which is something that I am looking to pick up in the future. I think GameStop obviously knew what they had when it came to the expansion pack and probably sold it separately. It is what it is. But this is the console. This is the N64. This is the one that I play on a regular basis. And I guess to start off this crazy unboxing, we might as well start with the N64 stuff because I've kind of given you guys some background on this console. So I actually went to a retro game store in New Jersey and traded in something that I'll talk about a little bit later to get some credit. And I ended up buying these 2 controllers and something else which we'll get to in a little bit. But these are 2 controllers to fill out my N64 controller collection. These ones are actually in better condition than the ones that we got from GameStop because they just take better care of their stuff, I'm sure, because they know what they have. I got the blue one and I got the, I forgot what this one's called, the Atomic Purple one. Both of these controllers work great. The joysticks are very stiff, actually, which I really like. I feel like they might have done something to them to make them this stiff, but I really dig that. They work great. I tested out most of the stuff in this video because honestly, I couldn't stop myself. But yeah, so this is the current collection. Imagine 2 more controllers here. And then I also got, this is the part I'm most excited about, a couple games off Facebook Marketplace. You can probably imagine what games these are based on, you know, needing to fill out a Nintendo 64 collection. But the first game that I picked up on Facebook Marketplace was, of course, 007 GoldenEye. This is a classic game. This is the first shooter I ever played. I think Halo was the second because I was what? In 2000 I was 8. So this came out when? 1997? But this is one of those games that I think everyone loves, everyone enjoys, and the N64 was sort of my like first really foray into gaming. Now I did play a lot of Super Nintendo at a friend's house who had a Super Nintendo, but the N64 was the one that I think I liked the best because at the time it was the newest console. Next up we've got Super Mario Kart 64, another excellent game. I got this one on eBay actually. I think I paid $34 for it. I keep seeing people find this game or like N64 games in yard sales for like $2 a piece, and I think I'm watching videos from like 2018 before the pandemic happened, because when that happened game prices just skyrocketed, and now I don't think you can find N64 games really that often anywhere unless you pay resale for them. This is a game that I really wanted to grab. This is a game we used to play a bunch of Mario Kart in college on. Love this game. I'm just really into this. This is a game I can't wait to beat again. And then the final game that I picked up, of course, was Super Smash Brothers. I think I got this one again off, I think I got it off eBay. And I paid, what, $35, $40 for it? This is a classic game. I'm sure you guys know about Super Smash Brothers. This one sort of started off the craze. I was never great at it. I'm kind of just a Kirby stan, but this is one of those games that it's always good to have in your N64 collection. And now that I've got 4 controllers, we can play some drinking Super Smash. Why does everything have to be about drinking? I don't know. Doesn't matter. But this is the current N64 collection. We've also got, of course, Pod Racer, which I'm working on beating right now. Plan to beat all these games just because I've beaten them all before and I'd like to have save files on these new cartridges, but super excited about these. I am planning to expand my N64 collection, so if any of you guys are watching this and you have N64 collections, let me know. I might buy some games off of you guys. I'm not going to pay like crazy prices for them because I just can't. Whatever the going rate is, or if you guys want to cut me a deal, that's cool too. But next up, I want to show you guys something that I bought a little while ago that I actually made a video about, which I never posted, and that is this guy right here. This is a backwards compatible PS3. So if you guys have been watching this channel for a while or have been subscribed to this is my second channel, the tech channel. I bought a slim PS2 like a year ago on eBay, and it came broken. So I ended up returning it, and my plan was to just buy another slim PS2, but what I ended up doing was buying a backwards compatible PS3 because obviously it's backwards compatible and I can play PS3 games. So this is something I'm really excited about. I bought one game for it. I think it was Tony Hawk Underground 2, one of my favorite games of all time. And I played that a little bit on this, but I got this maybe 2 months ago, and I haven't really done much more than that. So I figured I could show you guys. I was gonna film, I think I said earlier that I had filmed a full video. I hadn't filmed it yet. I was gonna film part 2 to that PlayStation 2 video, because that was technically part 1. And I was gonna show off this console, but tested it, it works great. I never had the fat PS3, I had the PS3 Slim, and my main console for this generation was Xbox 360. But the Xbox Series X is pretty much backwards compatible, so I didn't need to grab a new Xbox 360. But here it is, backwards compatible PS3. I did buy 2 controllers with this guy, because the one that came with it was just garbage, didn't work. And I think I paid what? It was a lot. I think I paid like $310 for it, which is more than I should have paid for it, but at the same time the prices just keep going up, so you know, it's not a terrible investment, I guess. I don't know. Let's put this off to the side. So those are kind of the consoles that I already had in the collection. I'm falling over. Now let's get to the consoles that I didn't have. And the first one I want to show you guys is actually in this box. This is the other thing that I traded for when I went to that game store. I forgot what the name, All Things Video Games is what it was called. All Things Video Games. So this is a console that I really wanted to pick up because it's a console that I never really had. I mean, I've played it at a bunch of friends' houses. I was obsessed with it, but I never actually ended up getting one for myself. It's one of those consoles that I really want to have and put some time into, and that, of course, is a Nintendo Wii. So I ended up picking up this Wii bundle, basically for, I think they were selling it for what? $110? Actually, you know what? Let me give you guys the backstory on how I got this console and the N64 controllers. Basically, because I was watching a bunch of Chase After the Right Price, who does a bunch of yard sailing, and Retro Rick, who does a bunch of yard sailing and Goodwilling and things like that. I went to a bunch of yard sales over the last couple weeks, and I found an Xbox 360 bundle. It was the 4GB slim version with a Kinect and 3 controllers. And I bought it for 50 bucks, which honestly I think I overpaid a little bit. Brought it to the game store, brought some Pokemon cards. You guys might have seen those Pokemon cards. I think it was the first video that I dropped on this channel, and I traded all of that. I traded the console, the controllers, one of the controllers I didn't take because it didn't work, and the Pokemon cards. And I got this Nintendo Wii. I think I had to pay a little bit extra on top, maybe like 30, 40 bucks, because I got the controllers as well. And I got the N64 controllers. So this is it right here. Again, I have opened this and played it a little bit, not too much, but inside the box, they kind of just, well, it was rubber banded before. I'm not gonna act like they threw it in here. They didn't. I threw it in here. But you've got the power cable. You've got the remote and nunchuck, which I guess all the rubber pieces kind of yellowed. I guess that happens as time goes on, which is kind of unfortunate. The actual plastic parts are fine. It works fine, which is a good thing. So we'll put this off to the side. Actually, before we get to the console itself, I did also buy a black Wii Motion Plus controller and nunchuck. I had to buy them separately, but these ones age a lot better because you don't see the yellowing because they're black. It also came with that remote rubber case thing, but this is the one I'm going to use as my main because I just like the color better. But we'll put that off to the side. Got two Wiimotes, two nunchucks. We've got the Wii stand right here. We've got the sensor bar, which you guys all know how that works. And then of course we've got the AV cables. And then the Wii itself, which surprisingly was in decent enough condition. I was actually pretty impressed by the condition of it. Well, it's got a chunk out of it right there, but it's not too bad. A couple scuffs. So I got a white Wii. I kind of wish I could have gotten a black Wii, but at the end of the day, the white one is the original, so might as well go with that guy. Works great. You've got your GameCube controller plugins on the top, your memory card plugins in there. I will be definitely playing some GameCube games on this. I just need to pick up really GameCube controllers and GameCube games, but the price of those games has just skyrocketed right now. It's insane. I might also pick up a GameCube just to have it. This is, oh gosh, this addiction is awful. This is the worst. I just want to buy everything. Oh man, let me know in the comment section down below if you guys like this kind of content. I'll do more unboxings, like retro game unboxings, because I am continually buying games, and I've got like 4 or 5 more games coming in. If you guys would like to see me unbox those games on this channel, let me know in the comment section down below. I know this is just so different from sneakers and just new tech in general, but I'm so stoked on this stuff. Let me show you guys some of the games that I ended up picking up. So the first game, which is also part of this trade bundle, was Zelda Twilight Princess. And this game was actually priced crazy well. It's complete, it's got everything. The disc is in great condition. And I ended up being able to get this, or the price of this was actually $17.99. And I think it goes for like $25 to $30 on eBay. And I think the reason this was so cheap there is because they just hadn't priced it correctly yet. They hadn't adjusted the price on it, but super excited about this pickup. This is a game that I'd love to play. I've been playing a lot of Breath of the Wild recently, a game that I never really got into. Surprisingly, I actually had it for years, I just never really played it. Now I'm playing it a bunch and I love it. Next up, I bought Wii Sports, the Nintendo Selects edition, because it didn't come with Wii Sports. This was like 25 bucks on eBay. Surprisingly a difficult game to get because a lot of people either don't have it anymore, sold it separately or whatever. So if you buy bundles, it doesn't always come with the bundles. But this was actually the game that I played by far the most of because my friend Tom had it. We'd play it whenever I'd have sleepovers, things like that. Absolutely love this game. One of my favorite, probably still gonna be my most played game on this console. And then I actually went to Goodwill a few times and picked up some other games, which we'll go through. The first one is Rayman Raving Rabbids TV Party. Now this is a game that I picked up mainly because I figured if I don't like it, I can just sell it on eBay because I think it sells for like 8 to 10 bucks and I bought it for $3.49. So it's not too bad. Shout out to Retro Rick for all his Goodwill finds and videos. That's like, you guys have to check him out. His channel is nuts. So he does this thing called the $10 game collection, where he essentially started out with 10 bucks, bought and sold games until he built this insane game collection just to show that you can still do it, because that's how he built his actual game collection. I think he's like 60 episodes in and he has a collection worth $10,000, all from $10 and going to yard sales and Goodwills and things like that. I wish we could do that with sneakers. I was actually messaging him and he suggested doing something like that with sneakers, and I considered it. I still would like to consider that, but it is harder with sneakers because I think more people know the value of sneakers, and sneakers are just more expensive. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should try it. Actually, if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comment section down below. Shout out to Retro Rick for that idea, but check out his channel. I'm midway through the series right now and I'm obsessed with it. I can't stop. The next game is SSX Blur, which is a game I picked up at Goodwill for I think $4. Comes with everything, it's complete. The back is pretty clean. I loved SSX, mainly on the PS2 and PS1. Tried this a little bit, it's alright, don't love it. Again, I've listed it on eBay, we'll see if it sells. I don't really care, I'll keep it if it doesn't. And then the final one is Tony Hawk's Proving Ground. Again, obsessed with Tony Hawk. Underground 2 is my game. But this game doesn't have a manual. I think this one was also $4 or $5. No, it's got to be $3 or $4 because it was Goodwill. But not complete. Just had the disc. Fun-ish game. It's weird playing Tony Hawk on a Wii, but it is what it is. So that's essentially the Wii collection. Now let's jump into the console that I was most excited for, because this is like a true retro console, a console that I'm so excited about, and I could not believe the deal that I got. So inside this box, we have by far my most exciting find out of everything that I picked up, and I got this whole bundle for $150. Now to be fair, that's not an incredible price when it comes to what's in here, but for the actual quality of the items that were in here, the condition that they were in, the fact that there was no yellowing at all, and there was the amount of games that there were, I thought it was an incredible deal. So, man, I'm seeing some of the stuff in here and I'm so excited. So let's just dive into it. But inside this box, we have got a console which I actually put tons of time into at my friend Garrett's house, and I never had. We have got, the games are just in such crazy good condition. Whew. Okay, so inside the box, we have got an incredibly clean SNES. Incredibly clean. There's no yellowing. The power port's intact. Everything about this is just in immaculate condition. I'm blown away. So I saw this listing on Facebook Marketplace, and I didn't even think. I just bought it, which was probably dumb, but at the end of the day, it ended up working out because the console works, everything works, and I just never really took too deep of a look at the games because I wanted to save that for this video, but these games are in like stupid good condition. So, starting things off, the first game we've got is Daffy Duck The Marvin Missions, which is a game that I was never familiar with, but I saw a lot of bundles with it, so apparently it's a relatively popular game. And the sticker on the game is just basically brand new. It's nuts. The pins look good. There's no yellowing on the back label at all. Crazy. Okay, so next up we've got, with actually the bottom protector case thing, all of the other games had this bottom protector case thing. We've got Tiny Toon Adventures Buster Bust Loose. Is that what it's called? Something like that. Again, another game that I've seen in a lot of bundles for some reason. Not a game that I'm too excited about, but it's nice to have. Again, incredible condition, which is kind of nuts. After that, we've got Mortal Kombat in immaculate condition. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay? We've got Super Mario All-Stars, insane condition. If you guys don't know what this game is, this is essentially all the Mario games from the NES on one cartridge, so you can play them all on your SNES, because obviously the SNES is not backwards compatible. And then you've also got, of course, you can't have an SNES and not have this game, Super Mario World, which I've been playing a lot of on the newer SNES, the mini guy, but now I'm going to play it in the actual cartridge because that's badass. So I'm going to be playing a lot of this. And then the final game, which I'm actually going to grab, you know what? I'm not going to show you guys the final game just yet. I want to show you guys the controllers and stuff first, because this final game is really what sold it for me. Power cable, which was wrapped up nicer. I just took it out of the box and put it back in the box for the video. You've got the RF cable right here. You've got the, I don't know where the AV cable went, but it's somewhere in my house. There's 3 controllers, which of course this can't support, but the reason there's 3 controllers is because the shoulder button, or maybe the left directional thing on the D-pad doesn't work, and I forget which controller it is. One of them, it's one of them. Other than that, everything else is in perfectly excellent functional condition. It's crazy. And let me pull out the thing which really sealed the deal for me, and that thing is a boxed Super Nintendo game, Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. Now, I don't actually have it in the box because I've been playing it. It also has, I don't know if I put them in the box or where they are, but there's also the original instructions for the SNES too. Oh wow, look at that. I haven't actually opened this box yet. Oh my goodness, no I did. I'm lying. No, these are the original instructions for this game. Okay, so you've got the original instructions for this game. It's boxed and complete. But I also had the original instructions for the SNES, just no box for the SNES. So you get all these games, 3 controllers, all the hookups, it works great, no yellowing, insane condition, and a boxed game. I had to grab it. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did play this a lot last night, so I'm familiar with it. I actually do have some SNES games coming in the mail, so again, if you guys want to see some unboxings of more retro games, I've got N64 games coming, Wii games coming, SNES games coming. Let me know in the comment section down below, because I've been watching, again, a lot of Spawn Wave now, so it's another channel I've been watching that just has been feeding this addiction. He does a bunch of unboxings like that, so if you guys would like to see some stuff like that on this channel, let me know. But that's pretty much it for this unboxing today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know, out of everything that I picked up, what you guys would want the most. I have to somehow find a place to put all of these things. I might actually set out a space in my studio somewhere and make it the retro gaming section, which could be a problem because then it can just fill up really quickly. I might actually have to pick up a CRT TV. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna do that yet. But guys, that pretty much wraps up the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Huge thank you to all the channels that I mentioned before. They all make great content. You guys should definitely check them out. Make sure to leave a comment on their videos letting them know that I sent you guys. And that pretty much wraps everything up. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.